Hi, this is part one of my carnivore journey update. And if you're wondering where we are, we're in my backyard, and it is quite lovely. We're right next to a mountain. I'll just move that up a little bit so you can see. And we're also next to, well, we're surrounded by mountains in this valley, and it's quite glorious. It's the Similkameen Valley of British Columbia, BC. And yeah, it's lovely. And I just so happen to live on an orchard. I feel so blessed. My partner's family owns this orchard, and it's I'm so grateful to be able to experience it. Okay, so let's dive a little deeper into this. Sorry about the camera jiggly. Um, this carnivore journey of mine. I have been on the carnivore journey for 2 years. I started in August 19, I believe, of 2024. And that was 1 month after I retired, and about 6 months after my mom passed away. And I was executor. There was a lot of stressors. There was family dynamics going on, and quite a few things that were unsettling. And I was, when I stepped on the scale, I was 256. Now, here's the thing, I am only 5'2", so that's a lot on my frame. And even today, at my current weight as of this morning is 195, which I have not been here for like 20 years. So even at 195, I feel so much better. I feel so great. And I feel like I feel younger and all of that. I might not look younger because I've got wrinkles happening. I'm 63. It's going to happen. And I'm not doing the whole, facelift thing, that kind of stuff, getting things filled in. I know I've got these things, but I would rather grow older gracefully, just saying. Um, so in the beginning, I was looking at all of the uh, YouTubes. I was doing a lot of research. I was listening to a lot of very popular people at the time, and still they're popular. And they were talking a lot about high fat carnivore. And so after several months, and I lost weight quite rapidly in the beginning, uh, 20 pounds like within a couple months. And then I saw all this stuff about high fat. So I started eating butter. It's windy here. So I don't like it when my bangs are up. Okay. But okay. So uh, what happened? I added butter to my steak. I was eating a fair bit of pork belly, and I was baking it pretty crispy in the oven. So there was a lot that was rendered out, but it's still high fat. And I was drinking quite a bit of cream, and like whipping cream with my coffee, and doing things like just adding extra, 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 extra. And I did lose a little bit initially, but then I stalled out. And I I really started to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth within 5 pounds of where I was at. And I think I was down 30 pounds at the time. Um, and I wanted to take things slow because I want it to last, and I wanted to make sure that I was doing everything healthily. And so I got frustrated though after 6 months of that back and forth. And I even did fat fasts for a time, eating just sardines all day, or eating just, you know, whipping cream and a couple other things like for a fat fast. It was pretty intense there for a while. I wasn't enjoying that part. And it really, really didn't help a great deal. And then I was exposed to a couple, the Emirates. I forget her husband's name at this moment, but they're both great. And they've been doing keto carnivore for decades. And they have several books out. They have a YouTube channel, a website, and that kind of thing. And it's Maria Emmerich. And she even responded to me, which was really great because I told her my situation, and she said, she suggested her calculator that they have on their website. I'll link it in the video, in and their site as well. And the calculator is amazing. So they were talking about how if you have extra fat, why you're putting more fat in your diet. I don't know why that didn't click before, but it did. All of a sudden, it clicked. It was like, oh, okay. Well, that makes sense, right? If I've got extra fat on my body, why am I adding fat for that my body to burn instead of letting my body get to a place where it can burn its own fat? I'd rather the latter part. I'd rather my body use the fuel that's already on it for energy, right? Instead of giving it more and more fat to burn. So I don't know. I'm a smart gal, but for some reason it didn't click, and now it's clicked. And I noticed instant results. I started that in December, and I was around 220. January 6th, I started actually, well, I did my macros with her, and they have a thing called protein sparing modified fasts where like 2 to 3 days a week, you shift your macros so that you have a little bit extra. So my macros for protein are 105 grams because of my height and my age, and normally, and then on a protein sparing modified fast, it is 115 grams a day. And my fat goes from around 80, like I kind of keep it in like the 60 to 80 range normally. And then on those I think protein sparing modified fast days, the PSMF days, I have I've dropped it down to 30 to 40 grams. And so the fat gets decreased considerably, but to a point where your body's still getting everything it needs in order to, keep your cells healthy, your muscles, growing and moving and whatnot. And nothing under 30 grams. And then carbs are always 10, if you can keep them under 10 grams every day or less, like as low as possible, that is perfect. And so I really feel like, that's where it went with me. I started to lose weight at that point, and I have to say, Maria, you're the best. And thank you so much for kicking me into another level. And I'm still working at it. It's still a slow process for me, it seems. I don't, and this is without exercise. I really don't and haven't exercised that much. I lacked energy initially, but I'm starting to get more energy now and starting to implement kettlebells. Anyway, this is part one. So part two is next.